I'm doing a little state of the homestead today. Got a couple things going on. One, just got back from a trip up north to HELEN, Georgia. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And also, we've got something brewing down in the, I don't know, Cancun area that everybody is saying is going to be a hurricane that's going to hit somewhere between Louisiana and the Big Bend of Florida. And I'm smack dab in the middle of all that. So we're doing some hurricane preps. And while we were gone, something got in and killed the rooster and one of the chickens. So we were gone. The only reason we can leave is if a family member stays with my mother, who's an invalid and stays with us. And so something I don't normally do is I left this hatch open at night so that my sister wouldn't have to deal with it. And I lined this entire area around the wing with I'm sorry, I'm watching this chicken here. She was hurt in the altercation, and if you watch her, she's kind of loopy. And I can't find anything, you know, no gashing wounds or anything. She gets up on the roost okay. But if you've noticed her, she's a little loopy. I don't know if that's PTSD or if she is wounded in some way. She's getting along, so I'm going to let it go. But I was just watching her. Anyway, sorry. I lined all this with wire, stuff like this. And I really thought that it was going to be secure for the 4 days I was gone. Something gnawed through the wire here. You can see where I've repaired it and got in there. The rooster was killed right there. Now I understand I've moved it a couple times. The actual feathers and stuff are down that way. But the rooster was killed right there. Now, was the rooster killed as he came out to fight whatever it was? I don't know. That's a heroic assumption. But the rooster was killed right there. Or at least seriously manhandled. Both the rooster and one of the white chickens was dragged out through this hole. And whatever it was went this way. And I say whatever it was, I'm not saying fox, because my little knowledge of animal behavior says that this doesn't sound like a fox. So, and I'll tell you why, and you tell me if I'm wrong. So the feather trail led over here, and I could see where the white chicken was taken over here and either consumed or at least they got a better handle on it. And that happened right in here. Actually, it wasn't a white chicken. It was one of the tan chickens. Sorry. So it was dealt with here. Very interesting. I look around and I see feet sticking out from this hole right here. The rooster had been beheaded, totally missing his head and neck, and stuffed in that hole. And these are holes that animals go back and forth. And if you stop one up, they dig another one. So all kinds of animals use those holes, including my cat. So why I don't lean toward a fox? Well, I don't know if foxes chewing through wires. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's not my understanding of fox behavior. I'm leaning toward a raccoon because the whole beheading the rooster and shoving him somewhere, foxes tend to take their prey off, their kills off, and that's what happened with the white chicken. So, you know, maybe in this scenario, a raccoon and a fox got together, formed a criminal band. The raccoon's the entry man. He gets in. The fox is the killer. He goes in and kills everybody. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I am now short one tan chicken and one rooster, and I got one that's a little wobbly. So that's what's going on there. As I said, I'm doing some hurricane preps. I think what I'm going to do is hook the trailer up to the truck and move it over toward the house temporarily. And the idea there this is my hurricane plan. If we see a hurricane's coming this way, I'm going to load the expensive slash needy items onto the truck and trailer, and I am going to move them inland to my nephew's property. Now, what are expensive slash needy items? Well, expensive items are things like, you know, the mower. That's a $3,000, $4,000 mower. Things like that, the generators, things like that. And tools that I'm gonna, and those are needy. Tools that I'm gonna need to fix and rebuild if we do get hurt with a hurricane. So that's what I'm gonna do with the truck. Now, the other reason I'm doing that is because I have too many vehicles for the amount of drivers I have. So my wife has a car, I have a car, and I have a truck. So we pre-positioned the truck with everything we can put on it and the trailer at my nephew's house. He's farther inland than I. Not that much farther inland, but he's farther inland, and I consider that a safer place. And that's my pre-positioning location. Then things like records, clothes, food, computers, you know, things like that will go in the cars, and animals, and they will go with us. And what I normally do is I reserve a room in, say, Mobile, and reserve a room in Tallahassee. And that way, unless it's a huge hurricane, I can assume as it comes closer which direction it's going to go. And if it's going to go between me and Mobile, that's Mobile, Alabama, sorry, then I'm heading to Tallahassee. If it's going to go between me and Tallahassee, then I'm heading to Mobile. And the idea there is in both times I am still on Interstate 10, and theoretically we'll be able to get back fairly quickly. And that's part of it that people don't think about. People tend to make a cartoonish assumption about hurricanes. First of all, they assume that they're all going to be Hurricane 5s and that they're going to destroy everything. Well, God forbid. And that's not always the case. A 2 may come in here, a 3 may come in here and do a lot of damage, but not destroy all that much. And the second that hurricane is gone by, you know what you want to do? You want to get your ass home and find out how things are. And that's where that comes in. By being on the interstate and being hopefully in the opposite direction that the hurricane came in, I will be able to get home quickly after the hurricane passes. So that's my hurricane plan. It may sound simplistic, and maybe it is simplistic, but that's the plan I've always gone with. Luckily, we haven't had to use it often, but the few times we have, it's worked out okay. So my trip to Helen, Georgia. Went up there, my wife and I, and Helen, Georgia. Helen's a little town up in the Georgia mountains north of Atlanta, and they've kind of made their tourist niche a small German town. All the buildings are decorated that way. It's a very small town. A lot of the restaurants are German restaurants. They're playing German music. It was Oktoberfest while we were up there, and their real big thing is Christmas. They like to decorate the entire town for Christmas, and people who are getting into Christmas really love going up there. The town was cute, pretty touristy. We only spent one afternoon there. We spent most of our time, first of all, we stayed in a cabin, an Airbnb type place, way up in the middle of nowhere. Gorgeous cabin, just can't say enough about it, just hidden away, really hidden. And I had a little stream running through it right behind the cabin. It's just beautiful. And we did a lot of hiking. We hiked up to Anaruby Falls. We did a couple other hikes. There's a hike that connects Anaruby Falls to the Unicoi State Park. We did that. There's a Georgia State Park that's a farm. I'm trying to remember, Hartman Farm, I think. We hiked that and toured those buildings. Just had a real good time. If you're into the tourist stuff, I mean, Helen, Georgia is okay. You can, I couldn't spend more than an afternoon there. I got bored pretty quick. But I'm just kind of not into that stuff. I got a friend who goes every Christmas. They love it. And it's just, what you're into. I will say this. If you do go up there and you want some authentic German food, some real good German food, the Heidelberg place right in the middle of town, outstanding. I had Jaeger Schnitzel with red cabbage and potato salad. Oh my Lord, it was good. So good. I tried a couple of German restaurants and none of them compared to the Heidelberg. So we'll put a little note in for them. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. All right, so we're through exercising the generators, putting them back in their container. And because I'm prepping for possible hurricane, I'm going to go ahead and store them in the truck for right now, this week, and see where things are heading. So what I did is I ran them for a couple hours, and I ran them with a load on them. And what that means is you run them pulling a load, and one of the best things that pulls the load, if you don't have anything you need to be doing with the generators, is a heat gun. And so I just had them both run the heat gun for 45 minutes I think I did, and I log it in my logbook, and they both cranked up great. And it's really important to run your generators. So as I said, I'm cleaning out the truck, getting out the trailer, and I'm just going to go through the exercise of preparing for a hurricane. And if we don't see a hurricane coming this way, I'll put it all away. It's just a good exercise to do. If you were in the military, kind of think about the exercises you used to do for mount out. And same kind of deal, just on a civilian level. So, going to continue that this weekend, and hopefully we won't have to put this plan into action. Hey, thanks for watching.